Hello everyone, I am Robert Chaffer, the Product Manager for the Beneteau Trawler range. Range-wise, the Swift Trawler 54 fits between the Swift Trawler 48 and the Grand Trawler 62. The Swift Trawler 54 builds on the established Swift Trawler core values of autonomy, seaworthiness, easy circulation, with timeless design and practical functionality. I will start with the foundation of any Swift Trawler, the hull. The Swift Trawler 54 features the revolutionary fusion hull created by Dixon Yacht Design. Bill and his team have spent over 20 years of development and CFD refinement, culminating with the fusion hull. We know our Swift Trawler owners are focused on efficient fuel consumption in the 8 to 12 knot speed range that allows for very good autonomy figures. From 8 to 22 knots, the fusion hull form offers between 16 to 35% less wetted area hull resistance compared to a conventional planing monohull. This is a remarkable achievement when you also consider a conventional full displacement hull creates more resistance than a planing hull when the speed exceeds 13 to 14 knots. In addition, the team has tested the boat in a huge variety of sea states over several months. We have found the Swift Trawler 54 to be a very sea-kindly and soft-riding boat. She will answer the helm very well and has very good directional stability. Andriani Design has created the exterior lines and the interior design layout. Starting with the hull, we have a gentle S-shaped shear line rising towards the bow. This gives the boat a purposeful stance in the water. The large hull windows benefit the feeling of space and light in the amidships owner cabin and the principal forward guest cabin. The main deck saloon is wrapped in glazing punctuated with integrated structural supports. Two major points. This creates an almost uninterrupted 360-degree views from inside the deck saloon, and the flybridge superstructure appears to float above the glazing. The inverted windscreen, in combination with the extended forepeak, reduces the sun's glare and solar heat load in line with the expectation of an ergonomically comfortable helm area of a passagemaker yacht. Moving aft, we have the iconic wood slat fashion plate that denotes the trawler range. Above the flybridge superstructure, lines flow and harmonise with the gentle S shear line below. Standing back and looking at the exterior profile, there is not one line or shape that does not communicate that this is a passagemaker. Regarding the interior, Andriani Design have created a very comfortable layout that breathes easily, allowing a quiet luxury and feeling of well-being throughout. Finally, the in-house team is responsible for GRP construction and joinery industrialization, systems planning and structural engineering. This team has brought decades of experience to the Swift Trawler 54, ensuring everything from meeting the boat's weight and performance targets and logical access to regular service items. Here we have the bathing platform area. So starting here, we have a usable space of 4.5 meters beam by 1.55 meters depth. The tender lift dinghy allowance is 400 kilograms. The bathing platform features transform stairs on the port side with an emergency man overboard ladder underneath. The deck features fold-away dinghy chocks and pad eyes, which are biased to the port side, allowing a clear access to the starboard side steps or passerelle when in port. On starboard, there is a substantial bathing platform ladder with swimming pool-style handles. Under the starboard hinging step tread, we find the domestic and aircon shore support sockets. These can be upgraded to Glendenning Cable Master, which if fitted, the power cable retraction switches are fitted just aft of the transom gate. Under the upper step, we have space for a 3.35 meter letterbox passerelle with the hot and cold transom shower above. If the passerelle is specified, the control panel can be found just forward of the starboard gate. Note, the full width transverse step allows easy handling when deploying or retrieving a dinghy using a mooring line. On the port side, we have a hinging step tread above the shore water hookup and deck wash plug-in point. On the port side transom wing, we have the option to fit a dinghy inflator and deflator ideal for topping up your dinghy air chambers or deflating paddleboards to stow in the lazarette. This is the aft cockpit area. This occupies an impressive area of 10.5 square meters. The standard wood-capped, full-width transparent push pit with port and starboard gates is a key part of the terrace-to-the-sea aft cockpit arrangement, in combination with the aft-facing L-shaped seating with folding table. The seating area can be further complemented by two inside-outside use folding chairs that are supplied in standard. There is plentiful storage space underneath the seat itself. On the port and starboard sides we have rope benches with stainless steel 40 centimetre cleats and fair leads with generous rope stowage boxes underneath, and aft snubbing winches can also be specified. In addition, at the forward end of the starboard rope bench we have a covered recess which can house the tender lift control panel and the third station joystick for easy stern docking. Forward of the rope benches we have port and starboard bulwark gates, and in the central floor of the cockpit we find the day access hatch to the engine room and lazarette areas. Over on the port side, in front of the rope bench, there is an underfloor locker housing two 7.3 kilogram gas cylinders in standard. If you opt for an all-electric galley, this becomes a very useful cockpit stowage locker. Here we discover a unique selling point of the Swift Trawler 54, the large easy load lazarette hatch. This electric lift hatch incorporates the aft pulpit and hinges forward, allowing easy loading access from the bathing platform. On the underside of the hatch is a convenient handrail with step box on the rudder table. This can be further enhanced by the fitting of a demountable swivel davit, making the loading of heavy items such as electric folding bikes simple and safe to do. The hatch switches are located by the starboard gate. The optional crew cabin. Note, in place of the large lazarette hatch and transparent push bit, we have the option of fitting a forward U-shaped seat with folding table. This layout creates space below to fit out the lazarette as a crew cabin with transverse transom window with inset ports for ventilation. There's a single berth mattress 2 meters long by 65 centimeters wide, storage, wash basin and electric toilet. The crew cabin is accessed via the cockpit day access hatch. The cockpit headlining features perimeter stowage for the aft cockpit multifunctional cover. This has roll-up windows and Solstice black mesh Gabbana panels. Therefore, whatever the weather, this multifunctional cover allows you to use this space all year round. Also note the overhead safety handrails and speakers set into the dark grey panelling with perimeter and downlighting effect. Here we are on the starboard side deck. At the entrance to the side deck, there is a vertical safety rail adjacent to the patio door. Behind the wood-slatted fashion plate, we have the transparent windjammer door that blocks wind when the aft cockpit area when swinging on anchor. Moving forward, in the well-protected side decks with overhead canopy, we find the service lockers containing the port and starboard fuel fillers and water forward. The waste discharge is further forward on the side deck. Dock on starboard for servicing and refueling is a key point to communicate with our clients as part of our trawler easy handling DNA. Then we have the starboard side door to the main helm with amidships 40 centimetre spring cleats close to hand. The foredeck seating area, we find a large U-shaped seating area with sunpad layout and adjustable headrests, dual drinks holders. This area can be further enhanced with an electric leg folding table featuring a grab handle and drinks holders. The table can be lowered and in combination with an infill cushion creates a sunpad 2.1 meters long by 2.2 meters wide. Some notes regarding the cushions. When not in use, the cushions stay in place underneath a tonneau cover. The cushions are constructed using reticulated foam with mesh bases, allowing the water to drain freely through minimizing moisture retention and mildew. Under either side of the U-shaped seat, we have storage lockers for 2 fenders per side with ropes. Note the sockets for the optional foredeck bimini, which provides shade over this area. This bimini stows underneath the windscreen overhang. The black mesh bimini is specially formulated to provide shade while allowing air through. On the bow, we have an optional rope capstan with aft-facing speakers in the bulwark, which can be controlled from the flybridge or the Fusion app on your phone. The starboard bow locker stows 4 fenders, bimini poles, deck wash and plug-in controls for the 2,300 watt anchor windlass. The stainless steel stem head carries a 40 kilogram Delta anchor. The mooring facilities can be enhanced by a bulwark mounted rope capstan and switch, which aids rope work through the fairleads and the 40 centimeter stainless cleats. The portside chain locker can also stow 2 additional fenders. Note, to aid easy handling, these hatches feature gas struts. As we move round to the port side deck, it's worth noting that the side deck widths are symmetrical, making for safe and easy circulation around the whole boat. On the port side, we find the galley side door and an external door accessing the galley food waste trash bag, with slide-out separator panel, allowing a configuration of 1 bag in use above and 2 to 3 bags stowed underneath for proper disposal when you return to port. Here we are on the flybridge. The flybridge has 21 square meters of floor space. Starting on the starboard side is the hatched and internal stairs leading to the main helm and the starboard side door below. This is a well-proven passagemaker helm-to-helm layout thinking, the fastest, safest routes radiating out from the main helm during navigation. Then we have the flybridge helm itself, with the pilot seat on centerline, giving excellent all-round visibility with up to 3 16-inch screens, space for the Cummins joystick and throttles arranged for easy docking, which can be further enhanced by a bird's eye camera looking aft at the bathing platform. Adjacent to the helm on the port side, we have a forward-facing seat that can be easily converted into a chaise for convivial passage making. Moving aft on the flybridge onto the port side, there is a huge U-shaped seating area with folding table. 2 folding chairs that come in standard can also be used here, creating space for 8 people to relax and dine in comfort. Opposite the seating area, you can fit high-fidelity speakers and a subwoofer into the starboard coaming, supplementing the 2 in the helm area. Before moving aft, I will point out where the optional electro-hydraulic bimini stows if you take the standard radar mast. The bimini folds down in front of the helm inside the flybridge screen. When deployed, the bimini covers the seating and helm areas. Aft of the U-shaped seating area, we have a transverse wet bar serving out to guests, featuring a 130-litre fridge, twin-zone barbecue grill with stainless steel lid, sink, storage, trash bin and space for an ice maker. At the end of the wet bar there is mains power point, allowing you to plug in a laptop or a tabletop plancher. On the standard boat, the radar mast sits on the wet bar surface. On this boat we have the T-top fitted. The T-top normally has a sliding soft top roof, but this 54 features the innovative silent boat option, which means the side deck wings, forepeak and T-top roof have 18 solar panels capable of providing 2 kilowatts of energy to a lithium battery bank of 2,000 amp hours. In our extensive sea trials, we have allowed for up to 8 hours of autonomy with reasonable usage on anchor. On the rear quarters are pad eyes fitted inboard of the flybridge railings for 2 8-person life rafts. There is space in this area to bring such items as folding steamer chairs and a side table. And note, if you select the T-top, then an overhead black mesh bimini can be fitted that covers the aft area. In addition, black mesh cabanas can be fitted to the port and starboard sides of the T-top, shading the whole seating area. Right aft of the transparent push pit features a teak-capped handrail to match the main deck push pit below. Here we find another easy load innovation. Behind the flybridge pulpit is a rack for 2 paddleboards or a kayak to be stowed transversely. The same swivel davit from the lazarette can also be used here to provide safe handling. The main deck saloon covers 25 square meters of space. Coming through the patio doors, on the port side we have a large U-shaped sofa with relaxed seating for 8, and a coffee table featuring a folding infill cushion providing extra seating, or a banquette for movie night. This being a passage maker, there is a huge amount of stowage underneath the sofa. The ceiling features a wood parameter pelmet with indirect and direct lighting, 4 overhead speakers and a safety handrail. On starboard side, adjacent to the patio door, we have the ship control and aircon panels with light switches below. The top access locker to the right-hand side houses the silent boat master switch, lazarette hatch isolation switch and Schreiber intranet unit. The fusion head unit is just above the long sideboard with plentiful storage space for a 23-bottle wine cooler, 95-litre drawer fridge, lift mechanism for up to a 50-inch TV. Forward of this compartment you will find the fuel shutoffs, manual fire extinguisher and a USB and PowerPoint socket for table lamps, etc. Decor-wise, the standard boat's interior joinery is finished in Alpi teak. This boat features the optional Alpi oak finish. The saloon windows are complemented by dark walnut Venetian blinds set within grey leverette pelmets. Worth noting is the low-level ambient lighting and the illuminated decor panel on the transverse galley bulkhead, all creating a cosy and welcoming space. Moving forward, we step up to the servery area on starboard that can be equipped with pull-out shelves housing Villeroy Boch glassware, crockery and a cutlery drawer. And aft we find an illuminated bottle wine rack. Opposite the servery we find the amidships galley. Why amidships rather than the current fashion of galley aft? Well, this is a passage maker layout rather than a motor yacht. During navigation, you're only a couple of steps away from the helm to go make a coffee or grab a sandwich. The galley features a full-height 255-litre fridge freezer, 3-burner gas hob with oven below and charcoal hood above, and deep overhead lockers. The gas can be replaced by an induction cooktop with multifunction microwave oven. Adjacent to the multi-stop galley side door, we have plentiful work surfaces with sink and recycling bins underneath, pots and pans drawer under the oven, a bank of drawers inboard and opposite space for a dishwasher. An innovative feature is the pop-down overhead power points well away from the wet work surfaces. The fore and aft transverse bulkheads above the Corian work surfaces are glass, keeping galley smells and spills in check, while allowing the lower helm almost 360-degree views around the boat. The main helm features a central pilot seat sitting behind a 2.2 metre wide central windscreen featuring 3 overhead wipers ahead of the helm console that can take 2 16-inch floating MFD screens. On starboard we have the throttle shelf with space for a Cummins joystick and remote keypad for the MFD screens with ignition keys forward. The throttle shelf also features a cubby locker below with charging point. On the starboard side of the helm console behind the ship's wheel on centerline is the compass and engine display panel with trim tabs or interceptor panel, autopilot and fin stabilizer control panel on starboard. On the port side we have the switches and proportional thruster paddles for the 250 kg force bow and stern thrusters with VHF below. Drinks holders and charging points are all close to hand. A unique feature of all Swift Trawler main helm consoles is that they hinge up for easy service. The comfortable pilot seat features armrests, electrical height adjustment, manual slide and rotational adjustment and a flip-up bolster. The pilot seat can be lowered and rotated to make up an additional place at the dining table. A key point to explain to our clients is the circulation of the whole boat is centered around the main helm. On starboard is the sliding door to the side deck stairs, to the lower accommodation, and architectural stairs up to the flybridge with twin handrails for safety and comfort. This makes the main helm the center point of circulation around the boat, which is as it should be on an easy handling passage maker. On the port side, we have the U-shaped dinette seat with high-low dining table and an infill cushion that comes as standard, making a great night passage berth or day chaise. A great place for dining and during navigation. The table can be upgraded to a larger folding size with integrated handrail with drinks holder and electric high-low leg. The aft end of the dinette has storage underneath with access for the aircon handler and filter forward. This is the upper part of the stairwell down to the lower accommodation. At the top of the stairwell we'll find an outboard cupboard containing the fuse modules, module drivers, CNAPs and Schreiber modules with domestic mains and aircon main breakers below. Forward of this is another large cupboard containing a power point for a stick vacuum cleaner, hooks for folding chairs and a stowage space. Here we are in the lower lobby of the passageway stairwell. Forward is an access hatch to the aft shower drain pump and grey water pump out box, with the black water macerator in this location as well. On the starboard side of the lower passageway is the central linen store with slatted doors for ventilation. The lower compartment can be specified with a washer dryer. In the lower lobby, adjacent to the linen store, is a large underfloor storage locker in standard. If the 320 litre grey water tank is specified, it goes in this location. This is the forward VIP cabin. In the bow, under the port side hull window, we find a 2 metre long by 1.5 metre wide double bed with bedside shelves and overhead lockers. There is easy circulation around the bed with a double door wardrobe on starboard, a space for an optional hinge-out 32-inch TV, and below a vanity desk with illuminated mirror, stool, light switch and power point. The bed lifts up on gas struts, providing plentiful top entry stowage for bedding and hard suitcases. At the base of the forward storage compartment is the access panel to the 250 kg force bow thruster and the associated 4 100 amp hour batteries and charger. Under the aft storage compartment is access to the aircon handler and filter. Under the carpet at the foot of the bed is a large access hatch to the 170 litre black water tank on centerline with the 80 litre calorifier on the port side. On the port side of the cabin, we have the ensuite door to the day head. The quiet luxury features to note are the sprung wood slats underneath the memory foam mattress, the slatted wood wardrobe doors with leather handles, the soft panelling on the bulkheads, the inset leverette vanity worktop and cabin doors, and the Berber-style carpet with sound deadening underlay on the cabin sole, with porcelain white Venetian blinds to the hull windows. The portside day head has a unique feature. It is accessible from the passageway, forward cabin and portside cabin, meaning that at night time nobody has to venture out into public space to use the facility. Each door is lockable from the inside of the head while in use. This allows you to configure the head access as you want. The head features a Corian work surface, wash basin with stowage cupboard below, mirrored cabinet with shaver point, freshwater electric toilet and separate shower cubicle with Corian floor. Opening port lights are in the bathroom and shower cubicle areas. It features direct and indirect lighting, and underneath the inboard floor area is an access trap to the grey water pump out box and plumbing. So here we have the port guest cabin. Underneath the triple port lights we have a crossover berth arrangement of 2 single berths 2 meters long by 75 centimeters wide, with bedside shelf and sliding door storage locker outboard. Aft, underneath the transverse berth, is a 3/4 height double door wardrobe. Forward is the ensuite door to the day head. The owner cabin occupies 10.5 square meters of space. At the entrance of the cabin we have a lobby area with full height mirror and a door on starboard to the ensuite. Under the floor trap in the entrance lobby is the access to the Ray Marine virtual compass module. The forward-facing bed is 1.95 meters long by 1.55 meters wide with sprung wood slats and memory foam with bedside lockers. The bedside lockers are removable, allowing access to the outboard corners, optional air conditioning units and filters, and underneath the Schleipner fin motors. The bed lifts up on gas struts, providing plentiful top entry storage for bedding and hard suitcases. Underneath the forward end of the bed stowage are access traps to the two 400-litre water tanks. On the port side, there is a large sideboard with space for a digital locking safe, fusion head units, and forward is the double-door wardrobe with wood slats for ventilation. On the starboard side, we have a large dressing table desk with stool, and the central compartment features a vanity mirror and cable management port and space for a laptop to be left on charge. Staying on the port side, on the transverse bulkhead, we have space for a 50-inch television. Note, above the starboard side of the bed is a tear-down panel with ladder. This accesses the mid-saloon step above, which pushes out, providing a secondary emergency route out of the owner's cabin. On the starboard side of the cabin lobby area, we have an ensuite door, which accesses the bathroom that features a Corian work surface, wash basin, with storage cupboard below and a mirrored cabinet above with shaver point, freshwater electric toilet and separate shower cubicle, with seat and overhead rain shower with Corian floor. There are opening port lights in the bathroom and shower cubicle areas with direct and indirect lighting. The main lazarette access is through the aft cockpit easy load electric lift hatch. In addition, there is an access hatch with a ladder in the cockpit sole. Starting with the outboard starboard lazarette, there are domestic and aircon shore cables with space for optional cable master drums and passerelle above. Against the inboard bulkhead is the electro-hydraulic power pack for the autopilot with space below for an optional crew cabin black water tank. On the hull side forward is the starboard exhaust silencer with exhaust exiting out of the back corner of the hull. On the starboard side of the forward transverse bulkhead are the Raymarine system modules and fuse boxes. Moving over to the port side aft is the shore water entry and deck wash outlets. Underneath, the optional crew aircon unit and the 95 litres per hour water maker can be located here. On the hull side forward is the port engine silencer with exhaust exiting out of the back corner of the hull. Inside the central lazarette area, aft is a high transverse step with a central hatch providing access to the rudder table, tender lift hydraulics and the stern thruster motor. The outboard hatches provide access to the rudder stocks. Under the main floor of the lazarette is access to the four 100 amp-hour batteries and charger for the 250 kg force stern thruster. Here we have the heart of the boat, the engine room. The engine room is accessed from the lazarette passageway. Starting forward, we have port and starboard 1720 litre fuel tanks, 3,440 litres in total. The tanks feature sight gauges, and on the inboard sides we have CPAR dual fuel filters in option. Between the tanks we have space for a 6.5 kilowatt or 15.5 kilowatt generator with the exhaust silencer on starboard. Above the generator are the oil and water filters, with the generator and main aircon breakers on the port side of the engine room and with the engine room fire extinguisher on boat centerline. Between the engines, underneath the tread plate, we have 640 amp-hour domestic batteries in standard. As part of the silent boat option, these can be upgraded to a vented compartment housing 10 200 amp-hour lithium-ion batteries totaling 2,000 amp-hours. The engines themselves are Cummins QSB 6.7 litre 550 horsepower engines with easy access all round to service items such as filters and belts. The drivetrain is as simple as it gets, with engine and gearbox straight shafts running through to shaft logs to the propellers. Outboard of the starboard engine is the generator and starboard engine start batteries, with high load thermal switches above. Moving aft on the starboard side is the Victron Energy Silent Yacht Management System, with aircon and domestic inverters to convert the lithium battery power into main supply. To starboard aft corner is the optional Raymarine FLIR camera giving optical and thermal overwatch of the engine room on the helm MFD screens. By the soundproofed engine room door is a hinging tread plate access hatch to the 4,500 litres per hour bilge pump and also the engine seawater inlet valves. Either side of the door are the port and starboard engine seawater strainers. Moving to the port side outboard, we have the mirror ducted air intake with high load thermal breakers below. Below is the optional Webasto variable speed chiller, giving reverse cycle air conditioning that can be upgraded with an integrated diesel heater, giving full climate control. The aircon sea strainer is also located adjacent to this unit. For clients who only want heating on board, a Webasto diesel heater can be fitted in this location. Regarding the engine room layout, please show your clients the impressive, easy access working space and air volume above and around the engines and machinery. Decades of Beneteau Group engineering and after-sales feedback have gone into the pragmatic and logical planning of what is really the heart of the boat. So now we come to the summary of the key unique selling points of the new Swift Trawler 54. Number 1, the highly efficient Dixon yacht design fusion hull form, in combination with the Cummins straight shaft drivetrain, delivering an autonomy of 700 nautical miles at 9 knots with 10% fuel reserve, while 1100 horsepower on tap allows a reserve power top speed of up to 20 knots depending on specification. The addition of the Cummins joystick integrated with Schleipner 250 kg force proportional bow and stern thrusters makes docking stress-free. 2. The terrace to the sea transparent push pit with aft-facing seating allowing great connection to the water. 3. The easy load lazarette hatch and flybridge push pit paddleboard and kayak rack with dual use davit. 4. Andriani Design have done an exceptional job of exploiting every centimetre of interior space, creating a boat that meets our trawler client expectations. This Generation 3 trawler also raises the interior decor and quiet luxury on board to the next level. 5. Easy circulation, centred around the main helm with port and starboard side doors, internal stairs to the flybridge, plentiful handrails, protected side decks, all contribute to safe movement during navigation. 6. The option of the U-shaped cockpit seat with crew cabin below. 7. The new electric Schleipner fins offer great stabilisation at sea and on anchor, with no waiting time and low power consumption. The electric motors offer 360-degree rotation of the fins. The new anchor mode solves the age-old problem of the fins swimming the boat over the anchor chain. And finally, point number 8. The silent boat package allows on-anchor autonomy without the need to run your generator. Thank you very much for watching this presentation, and I hope to see you soon on the water.